Today the Japan Rail Pass disappears into the background. And that's exactly why this is one of the most important days of the trip. Day 5 is our first full day based in Kumamoto. No checkout, no suitcases, and no long-distance Shinkansen. Instead, we're using the city's trams and buses to do what a JR Pass day should lead to. A morning exploring one of Japan's most impressive castles and an afternoon wandering through a classic stroll garden. In between, we're also going to show you why Kumamoto is a launchpad for some of Kyushu's most playful, fun trains. Even if we're not riding them all today. Kumamoto has long been the largest and most influential city in central Kyushu, with the modern city growing up as a classic castle town around Kumamoto Castle. The area has been inhabited since ancient times, but it really takes off in the late 1500s, early 1600s when warlord Kaito Kiyomasa turns it into a fortified administrative center. Kumamoto is often described as a city blessed with history, traditional streets, and surrounding nature, sitting at the base of the Kinposen Mountains. From this one hotel room we can reach Kumamoto Castle, Suizenji Garden, and the starting points of sightseeing trains that run out into the countryside, all without dragging our bags or buying another long-distance ticket. This is what a good base day looks like when your rail pass has already done the heavy lifting. Day 5 starts the way we like it best on a rail trip. We're already in place, and we don't have to check out. We had 2 nights in Hiroshima, and now we've set up another 2-night base here in Kumamoto. Just a short walk from the station. That means no suitcase shuffle this morning, just coffee, camera, and a simple tram ride into the city. Staying near the station is deliberate. The Japan Rail Pass did the heavy lifting yesterday, bringing us all the way from Hiroshima to Kumamoto, with a Hakata stop in the middle. Today, the long-distance trains can rest while Kumamoto's local trams and buses take over and turn the station area into a launchpad for castles, gardens, and even some of Kyushu's fun trains. Kumamoto Castle is considered one of Japan's 3 great castles, and was completed in 1607 by Kaito Kiyomasa, a famous samurai general and castle architect. Under Kiyomasa, the town was laid out as a textbook jakamachi, castle town. Samurai residences clustered near the castle, merchants and artisans further out, and rizu rerouted to form moats and transport arteries. Kumamoto is also associated with legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi, who spent his final years here. That samurai heritage gives extra weight to the streets and stone walls you're walking through. We're starting with Kumamoto Castle, and the easiest way to get there from a station-side hotel is by tram. From Kumamoto Station, it's just a short walk out the front, across to the tram platforms, and onto a car heading toward the city center. As much as we love the Shinkansen, this is what the pass is really buying us. The chance to slow down in a city, ride the same streetcars locals use, and spend a whole day exploring without ever touching our big bags. Once you're on board, the ride up toward the castle is short, just long enough to watch everyday Kumamoto roll past the window and lay out the plan. First stop, Kumamoto Castle and its rebuilt keep. After that, we'll cross town to Suizenji Garden, and along the way we'll show you why Kumamoto is such a good base for some of Kyushu's most playful sightseeing trains. By the time we step off this tram, we'll be right under the castle walls, and the Japan Rail Pass will officially be in the background, while we finally enjoy what it brought us to. Stepping off the tram, you don't see the whole castle at once, you feel it. The streets tilt up, the stone walls start to rise, and then Kumamoto Castle's black keep appears over the trees. This is one of Japan's great castles, and even after the 2016 earthquakes, it's back as the city's headline site. In April 2016, a series of powerful earthquakes, magnitudes around 6.5 and 7, struck the region, causing severe damage to Kumamoto Castle and the city. Around 10% of the castle's stone walls collapsed, some turrets were destroyed, and the main keep lost most of its traditional roof tiles, turning the whole site into a massive restoration project. Today, visitors enter via special walkways and restored routes that wind above and around the damaged areas. You get views of the new and old stone walls side by side, which actually makes the earthquake story part of the experience instead of something hidden away. Once you're inside, Kumamoto Castle feels like a mix of history museum and live restoration site. The main keep you see now is a reconstruction that houses a multi-story museum, but it's surrounded by original stone ramparts, steep mushigashi walls, and wooden structures that show just how hard this place was to attack. Panels and models walk you through 4 centuries of history. From its 17th century construction through the 1877 Satsuma Rebellion and the recent earthquake damage and repair. You don't need to be a castle buff to appreciate it. Even just walking the route and looking out over the walls gives you a sense of how massive this complex really is. At the top of the main keep, you're rewarded with a 360-degree view over Kumamoto City on one side, distant hills and even Aso's mountains on a clear day on the other. It's one of those places where you can literally see where your trains have brought you. From up here, you can look back toward the station district where we woke up, trace the tram lines we rode in on, and even point in the direction of the countryside where Kyushu's sightseeing trains run. It's a good reminder that the Japan Rail Pass doesn't just buy you fast trains. It buys you mornings like this, standing on top of a rebuilt castle keep in the middle of Kyushu. After a few hours around Kumamoto Castle, it's time to refuel. Right outside the castle grounds, there's a cluster of restaurants and food stalls, where you can try some of Kumamoto's local specialties. Things like Kumamoto-style ramen with roasted garlic, crisp karashi rankin, mustard-filled lotus root, or a quick bowl of Taipian noodle soup. As always on this trip, the transport budget is quietly handled by the past day we already spent getting here. So lunch is where we spend a bit more freely. The goal with a base day like this is to trade Shinkansen tickets for food and time on the ground. Kumamoto isn't just castles and gardens. It's also a launching pad for some of Kyushu's fun trains. From the city you can ride Aso Boy up into the Aso region, with a cute dog mascot and kid-friendly play spaces on board. Or take the jazz-themed train limited express out toward Misomi and the Amakusa Islands. We're not squeezing those rides into today's schedule, because we'd rather give Kumamoto Castle and Suizenji Garden a full day. But if you're building your own JR Pass itinerary, this is where you start looking at weekend timetables and thinking, do I add an Aso Boy day trip from this same hotel? The pass covers the JR portions, and the only real limit is how many early mornings you want to string together. Castle done, it's time to trade stone walls for garden paths. From central Kumamoto, getting to Suizenji Garden is as simple as hopping another tram. You ride the line towards Suizenji Park, then walk just a few minutes from the Suizenji Cone stop to the garden entrance. Fares are small, around the cost of a coffee, and the ride itself becomes part of the day. You're gliding past shops and houses, not buried underground. It's the complete opposite of yesterday's bullet train speeds, but that's the point. This is what a no-checkout base day buys you. Time to move slowly across a city without worrying about your luggage. Suizenji Jojuen is a classic stroll garden wrapped around a spring-fed pond, with a loop path that takes about 25 minutes if you walk it straight, or a full hour if you stop for photos and tea. The whole landscape is designed as a miniature journey along the old Tokaido road between Edo-era Tokyo and Kyoto. Hills and islands stand in for the 53 post towns along the route. And there's even a little green mound shaped like Mount Fuji, plus a nod to Kyoto's Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's like someone shrunk an entire historic highway into one walkable circuit. Tucked inside the garden is a historic tea house, where you can sit down with a bowl of matcha and look out over the pond and miniature Fuji. It's one of those quiet spots where the rail pass is nowhere in sight, but everything you're seeing was made possible by the trains that brought you here. For this series, today is the balance. The Japan Rail Pass did the big work yesterday. Now the reward is a castle morning and a garden afternoon linked by nothing more complicated than a couple of tram rides. From here we'll head back toward our station-side hotel and start thinking about how far south we can push the pass on day 6. As the light starts to fade over Suizenji, we make our way back the same way we came. Tram across town, then a short walk from Kumamoto Station to our hotel. No suitcases to drag, no last-minute ticket decisions, just an easy end to a full castle and garden day. Days like this are why we built 2 night bases into this JR Pass trip. Yesterday was a heavy rail day. Hiroshima to Hakata to Kumamoto. Today, the pass stayed in the wallet while local trams and our feet did the work. And yet the only reason we can casually ride streetcars between a rebuilt castle keep and a miniature Tokaido garden is that the Shinkansen dropped us here in the first place. From this one hotel we've seen a lot. Kumamoto Castle rebuilt and reopened. Suizenji's tiny Mount Fuji and pond. and even a glimpse of the fun trains that fan out from this city into the rest of Kyushu. Tomorrow we're going to follow them. The plan is to take the Japan Rail Pass south again, from Kumamoto even deeper into Kyushu, and show you just how far this ticket can stretch in a single week. If you're enjoying seeing what the JR Pass can do beyond Tokyo and Kyoto, hit like, leave your Kumamoto questions in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Day 6 is where this trip heads even further into Kyushu.